What's up to all you Jordan fans out there? Today I want to talk about a relatively new line of sneakers within the Air Jordan brand. And that is the Legacy 312s. A lot of folks maybe aren't familiar with this line or maybe don't like this line. It's a fairly controversial line of shoe within the Jordan brand for various reasons. A lot of traditionalists don't really like these hybrid shoes like the Spizikes that combine multiple versions of Jordan shoes into one style. And I can understand that. It's each their own. I happen to like the hybrids. I think it's kind of neat to take multiple versions and put it in a single shoe. I think that really celebrates the brand. But yeah, the Legacy 312s, kind of an interesting story behind them. The Legacy 312s were designed by Don C., or Don Crawley is his full name. He used to be a tour manager with Kanye West, and also started his own brand of street apparel about 5 or 6 years ago. And for the last few years, he's been collaborating with Nike on a few different versions of shoes. And the Legacy 312 is very much Don C.'s brainchild. So several things I like about the Legacy 312. First, the name. So a lot of people say, well, what does 312 have to do with it? Well, 312 is the area code for the greater Chicago area. So just in the name, the shoe celebrates the legacy that Michael Jordan left in the city of Chicago and for that community. With the shoe itself, there are a lot of different features that celebrate the history of Jordans. You might recognize a few of the elements of the shoe from various versions. A couple things to highlight. So the first shoe that was used in designing this particular line was the Jordan 3. You can definitely notice the famous elephant print that actually covers this entire shoe for this colorway, which I happen to like. I think it makes the shoe pop. Also, the Jordan 3 was the first version of Jordans to include the air bubble on the sole. So I like that that's on here. So the bottom half of the shoe is very much representative of the threes, including the bottom, which has that clean, classic 3 look to it. I love that. The other Jordan that's included in this design are the ones with that classic high top design. You got the ones logo there on the top. But the third shoe that you may not know much about that is included in this design is actually a non-Jordan shoe, and that's the Nike Alpha Force. So the Nike Alpha Force was around in the mid to late 80s, and it was worn by a couple NBA players, most notably Charles Barkley. But in 1988, Jordan was actually playing, not for the whole season, but for several games, he was playing in the Nike Alpha Force. Rumor has it that after the ones and twos, Jordan was not really satisfied with the direction that his shoes were taking. So he started playing in the Alpha Force. Eventually, the threes came out, and he did switch back over to the Jordan line and played in the threes. But one of the unique features of the Alpha Force was this Velcro strap that's just above the toe. And so Don C. added that feature to this Legacy 312 design. So just kind of a cool story there. I like that it's a hybrid version of Jordan's that actually includes a non-Jordan shoe, even though there is a significant tie to Michael Jordan within that non-Jordan shoe, the Alpha Force. This particular colorway is called the Flip. As you can see, it's entirely covered in the famous Jordan elephant print, save for the bottom. And like I said, I just think it's pretty unique. Not necessarily a really valuable shoe by any means. I didn't really add this to my collection because I thought that this shoe carried any sort of significant value. I just like the design, and I like the story behind the Legacy 312s. I've seen this particular colorway retail from anywhere between 75 to $100. So, you know, you're not going to get rich out off of buying this shoe and selling it down the road. But if you're looking for a cool, low cost, unique option to add to your collection, or if you just want to make a fashion statement, the Nike Legacy 312 in the flip colorway, definitely a good option. And then one other colorway that I want to include in this video real quick, that's also with the Legacy 312 line, and I love this shoe. Nike Air Jordan Legacy 312 in the patent black leather with gold swoosh. I just think this is a clean looking shoe. It really pops. It looks sharp. It looks even better in person. And I just had to pick that up. Again, not a super valuable shoe by any means. Again, these are selling like 80 to 120 retail. So, you know, it's not going to be on the high end of your collection. But just in terms of the aesthetics of this shoe, it just looks nice. I mean, it's covered in this patent black leather all the way around the shoe. It's got that classic Jordan 3 elephant print, Jordan 3 design on the bottom. Again, got the original Jordan 3 air bubble there on the sole with that classic Jordan 1 high top design. But just a really cool looking shoe. Of course, it's still got that Nike Alpha Force Velcro strap on the front. But this is one of those shoes that I wanted to add to my collection just because of the look. I like the way the shoe looks, and it fits in to that Legacy 312 line. And I think it's the best colorway in the line, personally. I know this is all personal preference, but just a really nice looking shoe to have.